All right, everybody. I can't believe, but judging from a lot of the crap that I've seen over these past weeks and these months, it it seems like it's really getting it like even crazier and crazier and crazier. Definitely send some prayers out for this woman and her kid, her unborn kid. It really worries me because of what they're doing to the children. People, if you don't know what their their whole scam that they're running, I'm gonna tell you now. You definitely want to read up on that. There have been people, going out talking about that. This is why it's important for you to not send your kids to the schools, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, they got it set up to where you know, if a single kid shows a symptom of this whole supposed thing that's happening, they can basically take your kids without your consent. You won't know where they're at. And this is why I've been warning a lot of people, don't send your damn kids to the schools. Don't do it. Don't. Don't, man. Just don't. They also got it to where this is why it's important to that you if they ever approach you at your doorstep at all, this is all you need to do. Ask them, because understand they're there for a reason. Ask them why are they there and for what reason. If they're constantly trying to ask who you are, just tell them you do not answer questions, okay? Just tell them you don't answer questions. You don't have to tell these people who you are. All right? You don't have to tell them anything. You don't. You don't even have to open your door to them. Don't. Because the minute you do, they're probably going to try to strong arm their way in. All right? Um understand people and a quarter like when it comes to the Constitution, you do have the right to remain silent. You really do. That's where the whole point, the front of the doorstep thing, comes in handy. You don't have to announce who you are, because once you do, then I don't know what else to say. At that point, you just basically gave them the excuse. Also, never make a verbal contract with police. Never do it. Never do that at all. Um, for instance, like the whole concept of do you understand? If they ever say like do you understand? And if you ever ended up saying yes, that's technically verbalese making a verbal contract. You may want to now. A lot of this goes all the way back into Black's dictionary. A lot of this has to do with strong manning people. You may want to start researching this stuff, because this is what's going to help you in the long run dealing with these arrogant pricks who are paid off to do this kinds of bullshit. You best believe this is probably not going to be the last of this mess that's happening. They've been cracking out a lot lately on a lot of this stuff. But just so people will be aware of how to deal with this, just so people know how to deal with a lot of things that are going on out there. This is just another this is just an example for you to at least an example for you to get some headway on what you should start researching and what you start looking into. Now I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. Definitely send some prayers out for this woman and her child, man, and her family in general, because this is only, you best believe this is only one of the scenarios that were just caught on camera. You seen what they were doing to the people in China, how they were dragging them out of their homes and stuff. Yeah, one can't forget about that.
Guys are doing this. Yeah, you can show me your search warrant before you go through my house.
You're the occupier or
Yeah, I own this house.
There it is. There's a search warrant.
Search warrant for what?
Now, what I will explain to you is if you want to listen, you got your phone going.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right. Now, you're under arrest in relation to incitement.
Incitement.
Yeah. Now, you're not obliged to say or do anything, but anything you say or do may be given evidence.
Excuse me, incitement for what? What on earth? Excuse me, what?
You see that he doesn't. All he says is this incitement, but he doesn't explain what the incitement is actually. For what? They don't explain for what. He doesn't technically go into explanation. He just shows up saying you're arrested for this, and then that's it. And the guy just proceeds to arrest her. Dude, that's not explaining anything. That's not really giving a decent explanation on this. It's not. You can't just walk up to somebody, say this, and this, and then just arrest somebody without actual, without probable cause, dude. So you would have to technically really show detailed information. You would have to do this before making any kind of arrest. You would have to.
Earth?
Just put your phone down.
Can you record this? I'm in my pajamas.
What's
I have
this?
an ultrasound in an hour. because
Yeah,
I'm
she's pregnant, so
I'll take it easy.
what's this about?
But I have an ultrasound
Just let me
in
finish.
an hour.
Let me finish and I'll explain. It's in relation to a Facebook post, in relation to a lockdown program.
Okay, so he does go into explanation about that. Okay.
Test you put on for Saturday.
Yeah, and I wasn't breaking any laws by doing
You
that.
are actually. You are breaking all. That's why I'm arresting you in relation to
In front
How
of
can
my
you arrest
children,
her?
In front
That's-
of my 2 children.
Can't you just say to her, take the post down? Like, come
I'm
on.
happy to
Otherwise-
delete the post. This is
That's
ridiculous.
right.
Yeah.
But I have to give you these caution and rights. You understand?
Yeah, that's
You know,
fine. Like, I'm happy to
otherwise
delete
say
the post.
do
This is
anything
ridiculous.
you
Like,
can
this is
say
in front of
do,
my... That's
maybe
fine.
get in evidence. You understand that?
Yeah, that's fine. But my 2 kids are here. I have an ultrasound in an hour. Like, I'm happy to
Let me
delete
finish.
the post.
You also have the right to communicate with or to communicate with a legal practitioner. You understand those rights?
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is a bit unfair. Come on, mate.
No,
What about she just doesn't do the event? Like, it's not like she's done it.
Well,
She made a post.
already committed the offence. So I'm not going to...
So that's an offence.
Now, the search warrant entitles us and we're required to seize any computers, any mobile devices you have.
Earth?
Yeah, can I just get your badge there, mate? It's all there.
Okay? You understand?
No, I don't really understand what's done wrong.
He's got his finger around the...
I really don't understand what... Like, this is ridiculous. I've got...
This is a lot of stress on her too. She's pregnant, like, come on. I'm relaxed. This is just very unfair.
What we're going to do, I'll start.
I should warn people who are also... If you know somebody going through this, let me tell you now. There are citizens amongst you who, some of them are actively out doing a lot of crap like this. And these are people, you'll see them either as cops, see them either as elected officials. Some may not even be elected officials. Some of these people may even be random citizens that just are amongst you, live around in your neighborhood and whatnot, right? I'm going to tell you what's going on. We have a group of people all joining into this madness that's going on. For us fellow TIs, we have to deal with the ones that hide in the shadows amongst the neighborhoods. Most of these people would look like average citizens, but you would never guess that they have ties to the mob, ties to gangs, ties to the FBI, ties to the police, ties to the government. You would never expect any of this. You wouldn't even know any of that. You would not have known any of it unless you have experienced it and seen it for yourself. It's not really. I'm just gonna give people the complete truth on this one. It is important for fellow TIs to unite in times like this. It really is, but on the grid is not safe. It's just not safe. A lot of these people have been infiltrating groups, such as peaceful protesting groups, and I'm not even talking about BLM or Antifa. I'm not talking about any of those groups. No. Now, in regards to this, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, for any fellow TIs who are experiencing any type of poisoning with nano, I'm going to tell you the 2 methods that I've used that got rid of the nano out of my system. And it also gets rid of the biofilm. But I'm going to do that at the end of this video. But I'm warning people, to all who see this right now, understand these people are amongst you. These people who do this crap are amongst you. And I'm telling you, these people who are involved, in these connections like this are criminals. They are. All of them are. Every single bit of them. They are involved with covert stalking and so much more. So much more. You have to be very careful dealing with these situations, dealing with these types of people. If anything, like this makes no that whole post thing, it makes no sense because like they don't I don't think they gave her a warning. You see that? I don't think they gave her a warning at all. So how does this doesn't make any sense? It doesn't even make any sense to, I mean, I get it if you were inciting some kind of violence on a post, maybe saying you were going to walk up and do something that you had no business doing, involving some sort of violence or something. I would understand that, possibly, but I don't think that was, what she posted had anything to do with anything like that. I don't think it did. Now, I haven't actually seen the post itself. I haven't. But I still don't believe it was an act of violence of any kind. So, as long as it's not an act of violence or anything like that, threatening anybody or anything like that, right? Or any type of scenario to any kind of crime, I don't see how they can just show up and do this. And first off, people, I'm just going to say it again, like you don't have to open your door to these people. I hope this is showing people just how corrupt the politicians are. But if you need more proof, man, check out a few of these channels I'm going to mention. A Plain Truth 5 and there's a Plain Truth 5. He shows a lot of signified evidence on a lot of the corrupt politicians. This is why I have absolutely no faith in any form of government at all. I don't. It isn't the solution. It's been the problem since day one, and it's always been the problem. The only solution lies in with the people, and unfortunately, we got this generation of individuals who are so dysfunctional and so addicted to money like a drug. They're like addicts to a drug, basically. That bad. So anyway, there's a Plain Truth 5, Jeff Censored. If you want to know more about the whole targeting experience thing, I recommend you to check out my other channel, Mischievous M. Also, Vulcan Wolverine has a lot of good evidence. Also, Miss SH Space P. That's exactly how it is. SH Space P has a ton of evidence on tracking these perps down and a lot of these illegal operations that they're doing. But despite that, it is evidence, but despite that, I still believe that they want us just to stay on the grid. I still believe that's just what that is, because when you think about it, these apps are from Google, right? Google is technically one of the enemy platforms, right? I'm not saying don't get the evidence. Do get the evidence, because that's proving your case. I am. But I still, because think about it, the enemy could easily just take this shit down. They can easily just take those apps down if they wanted to, right? And they have done this. They have taken some apps down before. They have. And they have altered some apps before. You best believe they have. I still believe they're trying to get us to stay on the grid, though. That's just my belief right there. I still believe that they are just trying to keep everybody in the city. This is why it goes into why they started this whole contract tracing BS. It's an excuse to get more gang stalkers. This whole the whole see something, say something mess. Even more excuse to get more gang stalkers. They didn't have enough manpower to basically pull off an operation like this. They didn't. They probably still don't, too. I still don't believe they got enough people to do this, considering what they, a lot of these attempts that they have made. People, don't ever be the fellow TIs out there who knows what's going on, don't ever be intimidated by these perps. Not by the verbal harassment, not by their tactics. Because I understand they do that shit to try to get you to act, to get you to set yourself up. That's what they are doing. That's what they're there to do. Don't fall for this.
We seize any computers and
That's fine, can I just
let me finish. Let me finish. Any mobile telephone you've got, okay? So what we want, any mobile telephone you've got,
You don't need that.
No, that's actually my sister's phone. It's not
Yeah,
my name.
it's not the same.
doesn't matter. Any device in this house we're taking.
This is
Well,
ridiculous.
You're not taking my phone.
Well,
I'm taking any device, mate.
any
That's
device.
my phone. It's nothing to do with her. It's my
Wow. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that mess. That's insane, man. That is just wow. A single post. They show up saying anything regarding this, we're just gonna take it. People, this is in Australia, okay? This is in Australia. They don't have firearms out there, man. I think it was, I believe it was Australia. I don't believe they got firearms in their homes out there. I don't think they do, and this is why it's getting that bad. They have done so much out there to those people, man, and it's sickening. It is. They have they basically had people locked up in their damn homes for around 3 fucking weeks, dude. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And they're talking about adding on an additional couple of more weeks. It's a fucking scam. The whole damn thing is a scam. People are being paid off to promote the scam, and they don't give a flippin' flying fuck who suffers at the end of it. They don't care about the people who are dying. They don't care about the people who are suffering. They don't care. The only thing they care about is lining their own pockets up. That's it. It's complete selfish. It's greed. It's the most foul corruption you can ever imagine. These same people who they are working with are changing laws. Little did you know. They're changing laws for the most foul reasons imaginable. You don't believe me? You may want to look up to a lot of the things that they have been changing recently. A lot of the shit that they have been changing. I seek to basically get the hell off this grid and basically deprogram myself to where I'm actually where I'm centered to who I am, not to some other crap that someone's trying to program me as. Fuck that. Forget all of that. I'm not gonna be somebody's freaking robot. I'm not gonna be programmed into no type of entity of any kind for these bastards. No. I don't give a damn how much these idiots are being paid off. They're all zombies. Like, the people who support this are nothing but damn zombies. Every one of them. I've lost track of how much stupid stuff I have seen as a targeted individual. You know, the mask thing, how that basically cuts off your oxygen and causes you to breathe in your own carbon. You know these gang stalkers are wearing that shit. You know people have died from that. I've gave out warning videos about the whole stuff that people are drinking and eating, how you need to avoid that shit. These gang stalkers are still eating and drinking that shit. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh hell yeah. And I mean a lot of it too. A hell of a lot. TIs, this is why I'm telling you right now. Do not, and I repeat, do not be intimidated by these damn gang stalkers. I'm hearing stories from fellow TIs mentioning how some of these perps have died based off their own damn addictions. Whether it be drug related or something else. These people are so addicted. The same system that's basically killing them is the same system they're fighting to protect. To anybody with the brains to know that that does not make any bit of damn sense, why the hell would you defend a system that's killing you? It makes no sense. And they can't deny that it's not. They can't. People, that's the very definition of someone who's been programmed. They'll fight to defend the system, even if it means that, they'll actually enact to protect their own life, but they'll do things that they feel like are subtle and not too far direct. That is actually, that's really in reality an immediate threat to their own life. That's just exactly what they will do. Don't be intimidated by these people. Don't be triggered by them whenever you go out. Don't, because that's the whole point of why they do that. They do that to basically try to set you up. They do that to basically try to, give off this impression of you to the public. And it really defeats the purpose of a lot of that shit when people see exactly what's really going on. This is where, certain types of surveillance equipment comes in handy. A phone, man, every TI knows they've been fucking with the phones. They'll shut it down. They prevent you from using it, all this crap. And you know something? TIs think that it's impossible to basically prevent them from fucking with your phone. It's not impossible. It is not impossible to prevent these assholes from hacking into your device. Just as well as there is a way for them to get in, there's a way to shut the door on them from hacking into your shit. Okay? You want to know how to do it? It's quite simple. You need to root your device. Okay? You need to root your device. Anything Google related, take it off. Get it out of there. Anything Facebook related, get it off. You're going to have a Facebook app, and you're going to also have 2 other apps related to Facebook in the systems column of your apps location. You need to get rid of that, as well as Amazon, all of that junk, and anything related to that seems like it's related to tracking. I highly recommend you to get rid of both the weather app too and both the calculator. Why? Because these apps have been known to have hidden functionalities to them. So if you want to do that, that's one method, but there's also another method you can do on top of that. Now, this is going extreme with it. The next thing you can do is actually change your IMEI number for that device that you got. Change it. Understand, whenever you purchase a device, they automatically have your IMEI number. They do. So, if you want to prevent these pricks, and also use a VPN too, after doing this, definitely always use a VPN. If you do this, man, there's no back doors. There's no back doors. There's no apps giving them access to your shit. There's nothing. I know how to do this. I just haven't put the time into doing it. If you want to know how to kick these damn perps off your shit, that's how you do it. Because they rely on these applications to give them a backdoor into your shit. This is the same thing with the browser on your phone. And this is why I'm saying anything Google related, get rid of it. Because Google Chrome's been notorious for this. Now, you could take it a step further and get rid of the actual built-in browser and actually just download a private type browser. That'll help you out with that. Now, that's if you want to get really extreme with this. That is a way how you can basically prevent them from having a backdoor into your device, if you wanted to know. It's technical, I know. Seems like a lot of steps. Definitely. But that's how you do it. That's just how you do it. They don't have the IME, but you know something? You know, if you change a lot of this stuff, you have to deactivate that tech first. You have to deactivate all of that first. You have to. Because otherwise, they're just going to see right through your eye. And yes, they can do this. For people who don't know, yes, they can indeed do this. This technology has the ability to see through your eyes as well as read your thoughts, man. People, there's a lot of shit going on, but the same people who were basically calling targeted individuals paranoid or, either paranoid or just mentally ill, these are the same people who are, and this is what I'm getting at. These are the same people who are bombarding themselves with a lot of this unnecessary shit, right? They're even trying to create the damn pod people with this crap that they're pulling, man. They're trying to create pod people, and I'm not joking. If you seen Jeff C's, I think it was his last live stream, you would see exactly, because he showed a video of showing this stuff off of these idiots just trying to advertise this shit, and it's like, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? Getting off the grid is important, but at the same time, so is fighting back for the land. We can't do that if we don't fight the real enemy. The real enemy is the bastards who are responsible for using this technology in general. The people who are at the DHS fusion centers. The people, because those centers right there, those places where that are heavily guarded, those places, they don't want you fucking with that. No, you best believe they don't want you fucking with that. That's what with all this billions of dollars they spent. You fuck with that, you fuck with their money. Now, I'm not telling nobody to go out and incite some violence. I'm not saying that. No. I'm just giving people a prime example of where the source of the problem is coming from. All of these weapons that are being deployed, these voice of God weapons, all of these directed energy experimentations, all gather up data and they send the data to the DHS fusion centers. What happens when the DH fusion centers are shut down? What do you think happens at that point? All that research they did, all that torturism, all that time they put into that shit is for naught. It's useless at that point. And any patternization they had to run off is immediately gone from then on. But anyway, TIs, those are the methods I can guarantee. Those are just the methods I can guarantee you. And it's not just the DHS fusion centers. You best believe it's not there. It's not just there. There's other places too. There's other places. There's also the places where they've been doing the research and development as far as the hacking into a lot of stuff. This is where both Facebook and YouTube become more of an enemy platform than a friendly platform. Because they read, even if they can't hack into your device, as long as you're still using, if you use YouTube, you're still using Google. You're definitely still using Google because you need a Gmail account just to have a YouTube account. Oh yeah, that's how they get you. But they can fix it to where you don't have to have a Gmail account. But at the same time, Google still technically owns YouTube, so they can easily just check your cross-reference patterns on the videos you watch, and then just go off of that for the RNM technology. They can just go right off from that. So even me using this platform is kind of putting me at risk too. It is. But TIs, again, the ingredients that I listed down, you just put that in a pressure cooker. Put that in a pressure cooker. Have enough of that in your diet. And this stuff will start extracting out of your body through your waste. You'll start feeling some of it that is still alive. And you'll start feeling some of it that is already dead. Coming out. Eat enough of that. It'll start ejecting out of your body. And your symptoms of all of this torture will go away. To get rid of the biofilm, make yourself either an anti-nano bucket or barrel. I highly recommend the barrel because the barrel, it does this all the way from the shoulders down to your feet. But it's a lot more difficult to get out of for certain people. I would imagine. So a bucket's definitely another way to go. That also deactivates and pulls the heavy metals and the nanoparticles out of your system. Another method to basically detoxing heavy metals out of your body, which is really good, by the way. Always definitely use activated charcoal tablets because those work a lot best too. Gets anything as far as a heavy detox tablet that will also work as well. But the best thing that will always work is something that's natural. So now there are plants, there are some natural herbs that do work into detoxing the entire intestines, the entire kidneys, the entire system itself. It was a fellow target individual. I forgot what her name of her channel is, unfortunately, but she mentioned something that was all natural and it flushes a lot of this junk out of your system. Listen, even if you have any kind of implants at all, and this does happen, really think about this, and hear me out carefully. If since you do have, let's say you do have implants, right? Let's say you do. I'm not saying you don't, but let's just say that you do. Why do you think they still have to lace you with nano so much? Think about that. Why do they have to keep lacing you with nano so much? Why do they have to keep spraying the sky? Why do they have to keep putting a lot of these poisonous ingredients in the food and the water systems? Why do they got to put fluoride in the water systems? Think about that. When they put fluoride in the water systems, that basically does one or two. Basically, I believe it's two things right there. It calcifies the pineal gland. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it also causes the body, since the skin is an organ, to also be more capable of absorbing heavy metals. So you got that happening, and you got the fact that this whole nano stuff is known to actually reconstruct itself, even though they shower it down from the skies and it's in parts. It's been known to reconstruct itself, reconfigure itself, and all that, and reassemble itself. So we know that happens because there has been researchers finding this out, but they've been heavily hiding their content though. But I found it. Unfortunately, you have to look for that on my main channel, the MMSTI Strategy Guide, in order to find it. I believe I made a video. It's there somewhere. This lady did research on these chemtrails, man, and she showed photographs of what was in this stuff, and this stuff was regrowing. It was regrowing and reassimilating itself, rebuilding itself. So they do that, and they also, how these perps known to, lace you as well. Why, if you have implants, why do they have to keep doing that? I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why they have to keep lacing you down is because without the biofilm, without the structure that stuff builds, you can't have symptoms of this weaponry. They can't get in your head. They can't zap you. They can't do anything. They can't. No symptoms. None. If you detoxify yourself like that, this stuff will have their weapons will have no effect on you. They can't send the voice of God weapons will have no thing of basically attaching to yourself. Now, I've even looked at another person who was actually treating these symptoms for TIs, and that guy, I know for a fact that guy was legit, because they always attack him whenever he's brought up. And I hope I've proven that the TIs went out with the first Mischievous Imp channel, because there was a goon out there who did that, who basically tried to, analyze one of my videos, basically saying this, and this. Yet I never said what he mentioned. I never did. And he didn't even bother to show the whole damn video. He never did. But I did show a video before that, of me actually just trying to talk to the guy. Simple. I wasn't arguing. I wasn't being disrespectful. I just simply asked some simple questions. Why is it that you're comfortable with this whole thing that's happening? Why is it, if you don't believe what's happening to TIs, if you don't believe us, can I at least just show you some proof? Can I at least do that? That's what I was doing. That's exactly what I did. Did he want to see it? No. No, they don't want to see it. They don't even want to see it, people. I'm saying I have evidence showing that this shit exists, but they don't want to see it. You want to know why? Because it would harm the narrative of what they're trying to promote, which is lies, deceitfulness, discernment. Oh, I hope I use the right word. It might not be discernment, but it may be, censorship of definitely, and discrediting. Definitely discrediting. It would defeat the whole purpose, wouldn't it? So when he starts talking trash about Michael Chapala, I'm like, okay. Now I've not spoken to this man directly. I have not talked to Chapala directly, but I know for a fact that magnets do have an effect on this damn nanotech. And this stuff does have a current going through it, because if you look at it under a microscope, you will see these fibers that seem to look like signal fibers. This stuff is connected to your nerves. Nerves have your body does have a current of electricity going through it, especially through the nerves. So think about it. The biofilm connected to the nerve endings and stuff like that. A lot of this is what's allowing them to program you. So what happens when you completely strip yourself of all that biofilm and all that nano? You turn these effects off. No voice to skull. No directed energy shots. None of that. TIs, that's how you do it. I've shared these methods on all three of my channels. Well, actually, both of the other ones. But if you want to know exactly how to get rid of this stuff, that's how you do it. But I'm telling you, if you're still working anywhere, you're at more of a risk of them constantly being able to have you laced. If you're still on the grid, you're in more of a risk of them being able to constantly have you laced. But if you're off the grid, you're not on land, you're not on any of that, then you have more of a chance of basically defending yourself from their bullshit. Because understand, they have to be really direct at this point, and that puts you in the rights of defensive maneuvering at that point. Because if anybody comes at you with any kind of nanotech, that's technically, and this is true, that's basically assault with a deadly weapon. If anybody is trying to lace you with nano dust, okay, that's technically assault with a deadly weapon because of what this stuff is capable of. And all the statistics and all the information is out there to prove it, because of what this stuff has the capability of doing. So as long as you got the right documentation to show it, as long as you got proof of a sample and proof of evidence that they came at you with such a thing, you're good. But don't fall for their bullshit. Don't. Always film perps, but don't have it to where they can just use it against you, to where it's triggering a reaction. That's how you got to treat it. You got to have it to where you have to give little effort to record and little effort to really gather the evidence. That's how you got to have it as. Once you got it like that, you'll be able to get all the evidence you need, and not have to worry about most of a lot of the crap that they try to pull, because a lot of the stuff is going to get jotted down. Again, the combination of the equipment that I use, audio recorder. The audio recorder is always put up. Camera glasses. These two things work best. Okay? They work best. I will give people warning about what these perps do. They will attempt to use their kids as a shield to try to stalk you. People, and this has been talked about too. It has. Don't be intimidated by these perps. Don't be intimidated by these perps, But you need to also understand why they're trying to trigger you to basically use your phone so much as you are. And I'm just going to call it out for what it is. What you see in your line of view is happening. The stalking, the harassment, all of that's happening. But what another person who is unaware is seeing in their point of view, they might not. The only thing that they're seeing that's really acting out is you. That's what people need to understand. That's how they've been using these tactics against targeted individuals for quite some time. Be safe out there, everybody, and stay strong. I'm not telling you not to record these perps. I'm not telling you to not jot down your evidence. I'm just saying be careful about it.